Many of my friends, family, and colleagues from out of state are surprised to know that the Cleveland area is actually pretty hilly. That's because in our region we have many streams and rivers that downcut through bedrock and carve out the landscape and form gulches and ravines and waterfalls and cliffs. And this gives our region some texture and some topography and some terrain. Our region is filled with urban creeks and rivers, but as you move closer to the inner city parts of Cleveland, most of those rivers and creeks are gone. And that's because they've been either filled in or diverted into underground pipes called culverts. However, in a few places around the Cleveland area, you can still see ghosts of those former ravines, areas that have been partially filled in, but where you can still discern some of the past downcutting action. And today, we're going to go on a ghost hunt for 5 ghost ravines in and around Cleveland. Before we get started though, go ahead and hit like and subscribe and share this channel with others so that you never miss your dose of nature in the city. Let's go ghost ravine hunting. First up is Kingsbury Run. Kingsbury Run is famous for the sensationally brutal tale of the Cleveland Torso Murders, an unsolved murder mystery conducted by the famous detective Eliot Ness, who tried to find a serial killer that would decapitate his victims and leave them in various places, with a few being left in the Kingsbury Run Valley. While this dark chapter of Cleveland's history captures the hearts and minds of many, it's best to focus on Kingsbury Run's future, which has some bright spots. Kingsbury Run was actually a tributary to the Cuyahoga River that once had 22 miles of open stream channels. But today, all of it is buried beneath the city. However, in some areas, there are still ravines that are visible, a result of the former creek's downcutting action. One of those is the Woodland Green Infrastructure site. While the stream here is gone, some of the ecological services have been brought back to a small piece of the former stream valley. A restored wetland and meadow area designed to filter stormwater and reduce flow into the Kingsbury sewer is present on the site. And it offers tranquility in a highly urbanized and blighted area of Cleveland, where winding pathways pass through restored meadow with native wildflowers and a small pond area. Here, it's a little easier to imagine that there was once a gently flowing stream running through the site as butterflies flutter by. What a unique urban green space where you least expect it. Next up is Walworth Run. What was once a babbling, spring-fed brook on Cleveland's west side quickly became an open sewer and dump by the late 19th century. Walworth Run's headwaters were once what is near today the intersection of Clark Avenue and West 65th Street. It flowed from there northeasterly to the Cuyahoga River, a distance of about 3 miles. Today, the entire watercourse and all its tributaries are gone, and the mouth of the former stream is now a giant circular 16-foot diameter stone structure, the Walworth Run sewer, that carries a mixture of stormwater and sewer water during high rain events. Thankfully, most of the sewer water never reaches the Cuyahoga River, going instead to a nearby wastewater treatment plant. Sections of the old ravine are still discernible from the Cleveland Metro Park's Red Line Greenway. Just south of West 25th Street, the trail passes through a section of the ravine where Cleveland Metro Parks has planted and seeded many trees and wildflowers along the trail. Careful observers can look down into Train Avenue, a road that runs along the bottom of the ravine. Walworth Run may be a ghost of its old self, but parts of its downcut valley are being revived for birds, wildlife, and for people to enjoy nature in the city. Moving on to the east side of Cleveland, we have Shaw Brook. Nearly all of this stream is buried, except for a short section of open channel in Bracknell, near where it empties out into Lake Erie. Out of the 5 ghost ravines that I visited, this one was the most eerie. A mature woodland has regrown in the ravine, tucked away behind aging homes along the East Cleveland and Cleveland Heights border. The most bizarre part was that you could still hear and see the stream below by gazing into a storm drain. There is also some surface runoff that is channelized into the culvert below. Why most of this stream was buried remains a mystery, and perhaps one day part of this creek can be daylighted or restored to an open stream channel. The ravine nevertheless supports native trees and shrubs and offers wildlife habitat and serene scenery in the middle of an urban area. In Cleveland's first 2 decades of the 20th century, Forest City Park, later renamed Washington Park, was a stately landscape public green space with a huge 60 to 80 foot deep ravine where Brook flowed. The picturesque stream was a popular spot for city residents to pass time, but over the years, the growth of Cleveland's steel industry led to the demise of the park, and eventually, most of the ravine was completely filled in, with the Brook sewer carrying the former stream deep beneath Cleveland's Slavic Village neighborhood. Today, the Washington Park section of Brook's Ghost Ravine is now a part of Cleveland Metro Park's Washington Reservation, home to a 9-hole Audubon-certified golf course. Man-made wetland pockets, purposely unmowed meadows with newly planted trees, and rain gardens with native plants help protect bird and wildlife habitat in an urban environment, paying ecological homage to this former Cuyahoga River tributary stream. The filled-in ravine also offers recreational opportunities for local residents who can enjoy the athletic fields and winding pathways that connect seamlessly with surrounding residential areas. Finally, we have Morgana Run, another former tributary to the Cuyahoga River. All of this stream and its tributaries are gone, but not forgotten. A section of the former stream was the site of the Worsted Mill, which operated from 1878 to 1956, and at the time was one of the largest garment manufacturers in the country. After the mill closed, the buildings were virtually abandoned and destroyed by a fire, and the land itself was left vacant. In 2011, the city and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency conducted an environmental assessment and remediation on the lower portion of the site, cleaning up remnants of a junkyard. In 2018, the West Creek Conservancy completed the creation of the Morgana Bluffs Nature Preserve, right in the partially filled-in ravine. The preserve is right next to Mound School, and it offers a high-quality nature experience where one normally wouldn't exist. Trails that pass through native meadow and wetlands give access to nature in the city for all. And the Morgana Run bike trail offers a scenic route through the Ghost Ravine. Here, you can appreciate the depth of the ravine, as the sides of the ravine are still noticeable, even though the flow of water is now confined to a storm sewer buried deeply below the preserve. Future plans call for bringing more of this Ghost Ravine back to life through the expansion of parklands and trails. We may not be able to bring back these streams, but through good land stewardship and creative out-of-the-box thinking, we can restore parts of their ecological function, such as managing stormwater or providing high-quality green spaces to inner-city residents that normally wouldn't have access to places like this, and restore some of the function of these places that whose lives have been cut short after 10,000 years of downcutting, cut short by human activity. And other places are looking at their buried ravines and streams, like the city of Baltimore, that's been working to retrace their ghost rivers. In fact, I'll put a link in the description below to a featurette about Baltimore's ghost rivers. And perhaps like them, someday we can retrace all of our lost streams and ravines here in the Cleveland area. From the Morgana Run watershed here in the Slavic Village neighborhood of Cleveland, Ohio, My name is Alex, and I'm your CLE Urban Naturalist.